Jack Kornfield shares how Buddhism's fundamental teachings pave the way to inner freedom.
These fundamental teachings, which are at the root of most every Buddhist tradition, begin with the Four Noble Truths. That there is suffering in life, in human incarnation, that suffering has its causes, and we can see this globally and together with one another. We can see suffering is caused by greed, by hatred, by fear, by ignorance. Those are the first two steps. The third step of the Four Noble Truths, or the third noble truth, is that there's a cessation of these sufferings that are born of greed, hatred, and ignorance, which is really good news for all of us, that it's possible to move from suffering to freedom, to well-being. And then the last is there's a path called the Eightfold Path, the path that we can follow ourselves as human beings to find freedom, well-being, to step out of the domain of suffering and into a freedom of well-being of heart and mind. When you look at the path laid out in these original teachings, especially the Eightfold Path, it begins with wise understanding and with wise thought or wise attitude of not harming thoughts and inner states of benevolence and care for one another, and turning toward that which is of value for us as human beings. And with wise understanding that there's suffering, that there's a path to the end of it, that we do this through our care for ourselves and others. Then there's a whole section of the Eightfold Path on ethics, which you'll hear about, because without a foundation of wise speech, wise action, wise livelihood, ethics, meditation doesn't work very well. And the reason that these are important can be put really simply. Meditation doesn't work very well after a day of killing and stealing. You can't quiet the mind and open the heart if your life is also not embedded in a ethical and respectful care for yourself and for other beings. Now, the Eightfold Path then culminates in the qualities of what are called right mindfulness or wise mindfulness and right concentration. And with it, then, are a whole suite of practices that help us to concentrate or steady the mind and to become mindful, to become aware of the life that we live, the ways that entangle us in that life and suffering and difficulty, and the possibility of inner freedom.